Hello, my name is Gharib. What's your name?
My name is Savo Salahaddin. It's spelled as S-A-V-O, but my closest acquaintances call me Sava.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Since it's not actual IELTS test, it's just practice. I'm not asking for your identification, okay?
Okay.
So let's talk about yourself. Do you work or you are a student?
I currently work a full-time job as a dentist. In the mornings, I work in a nearby hospital near my home. In the afternoons, I work in a dental clinic.
Okay. Do you like your job?
I pretty much enjoy every day of my job because I chose that job. When I graduated 6th grade, I chose that degree myself. I chose to go to that college myself, so I don't have to work another day of my life. So I love.
What do you dislike about your job? Is there anything you don't like about your job?
If I had to change one thing about my job is the fear that people have from dentists. I probably would change that so that they don't be scared as they are when they come for an appointment, when they come for treatment.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask you some questions about history, okay? What did you study in history lessons when you were at school?
Well, let me see, it was a long time ago. I have to remember.
Have you studied history at school?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I studied history for 2 years.
Okay.
I don't quite remember much of the details that I have studied, but I remember our history consisted of particularly our country's history, not the world's history. The mountains, we studied the mountains, the museums in our cities.
Okay. Did you enjoy studying history at school?
Well, not that much. I don't quite enjoy history.
Why?
I don't like it. It's full of details. It's quite complicated. I couldn't memorize all the things, so I would get nervous before the teacher, and I didn't quite had a good mark in history.
I see. How often do you watch TV programs about history now?
Well, my schedule is pretty busy. I don't really have a lot of time to watch TV, but I sometimes, you know, when my parents watch it, I sit with them and watch some history programs.
Okay, what period in history would you like to learn more about?
I beg your pardon?
What period in history would you like to learn more about?
Periods of history?
Yes.
I think the 80s more.
Okay.
I
Why?
like the vintage clothes from that year. I watch a lot of, you know, fashion things, and I quite enjoy looking at the vintage clothes from that area.
That's all about part one. For part two, I'm going to give you a task card, and you have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. Again, you will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes, and you have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes to help you if you wish. I want you to describe the neighborhood you lived in when you were a child. So here is the topic.
Thank you.
And here is a pen and paper, blank paper, to make some notes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 1 minute is over. Can you start speaking, please?
You told me to describe a neighborhood that I lived in during childhood.
Right.
Well, I quite remember this neighborhood really good because it was very comfortable to me. The neighborhood was a few blocks away from the city center, and it was near a primary school. So we had a lot of children around there when they used to come home, and it felt quite comfortable. The people were very kind, they were very supportive. Our neighbors, all of them, we had close relationships with them. We even used to stay overnight at their house, and I used to play. I remember a girl I used to play with. She was our neighbor's daughter, so we had a really close relationship together. And it was a quite enjoyable neighborhood. I had a lot of friends there, and the streets, it was safe to be there. It was a safe neighborhood. Like if you open the door at night, if you kept it open and you didn't leave the door open at night, no burglaries would happen, no stealing, not anything. It was very safe to be there. I felt quite comfortable with it. And in the future, I think I would probably, if I had to move, I would probably move to the same place that I spent my whole childhood there. I forgot to mention, we spent about 22 years of our lives in that neighborhood.
Okay. You have been talking for more than 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Can I have my pen and paper and the topic back, please?
Thank you.
Thank you. We have been talking about describing the neighborhood you lived in when you were a child. Now I'm going to ask you some questions related to the same topic, okay?
Okay.
Right. So let's talk about the neighbors. What sort of things can neighborhoods do to help each other?
Well, if I had to say my opinion on that, I would probably say they should be very supportive to one another. If a family had, for example, a crisis, a problem, you should, support them, offer them a hand, offer them some help.
Good. How well do people generally know their neighbors in your country? Do they know each other?
If I had to say something about that, actually, my country is its people is very kind, and I've heard there are some neighborhoods that they have a really close relationship toward another. They bring food to the neighbor and spend a lot of time together.
Okay, how important do you think it is to have a good neighbors?
I think it's really important. I think it's the most important thing. If you have a good neighbor, you will feel safe. You will feel comfortable. You wouldn't have to worry much about some things. For example, if you had a neighbor who is annoying, who is consistently judging you, it would be quite uncomfortable for you.
Okay. Let's talk about facilities in cities. Which facilities are most important to people living in the cities?
I beg your pardon, if you could...
I mean, which facilities, services are the most important facilities people need in the cities?
Well, in the cities, I think it's important to have a lovely environment. I think it's all in the environment, cleaning the streets, making the city look wonderful for tourists when they see a clean street, when they see trees, when they see beautiful flowers.
How does shopping in small local shops differ from shopping in larger city center shops?
Well, I think it's quite different.
Okay, how?
Shopping in larger malls provides various things, provides various shops. You know, shops, if you go to a large mall, for example, you will find everything there. You know, but these small shops only provide specific things. You can't find everything you need there.
Right. The last question, do you think that children should always go to the school nearest to where they live?
If I had to judge that, because my school was near my home, it was quite comfortable for me. For that question, I would say definitely yes, because it's much comfortable. You go by foot, you know, no one needs to pick you up, no one needs to come to drive you to school, and it's much near your house. So if you need something, if you forgot something, you would quickly come back and then go to school again.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of the test.
Thank you so much.